Today we're talking about E-Tricycles. A neighbor of mine used to drive everywhere, even for short trips. But between fuel prices, parking headaches, and traffic, it quickly became more frustration than convenience. And that's exactly where E-Tricycles come in. They're efficient, easy to ride, and perfect for quick trips around town without the stress of driving. That's why today I'm showing you some of the best E-Tricycles that are starting to take over the streets. Let's go! Most E-Tricycles feel rock solid until you hit a corner. Then suddenly they want to tip over, which kind of defeats the whole point. The Italian-designed tricycle actually solved that problem, and the solution is genuinely clever. It uses a patented tilting front wheel system that lets the two front wheels lean up to 30 degrees in either direction, so it corners more like a bike than a trike. No white-knuckle moments required. There's also a tilting block system with an easy stop feature, meaning you can pull up at a red light and stay upright without ever putting your feet down. Under the hood, a 250-watt Zehus motor paired with regenerative braking helps push you up to 25 kilometers per hour, with roughly 30 kilometers of range on a single 3-hour charge. It comes loaded with cargo racks, built-in lights, and mudguards, and if storage is tight at home, there's even a split model that folds into 2 sections. The flagship fixed model retails at around $3,285, which is not cheap by any means, but for something this well engineered, it might just be worth every cent. If you've ever wished you could ditch the second car but still handle school runs, grocery hauls, and everything in between, the Cube Trike hybrid family might make you think twice. Co-developed with BMW, this thing blends the easy handling of a regular e-bike with the versatility of a cargo bike and the stability of a tricycle, and somehow pulls it off. The clever bit is the tilting system. The rear cargo box stays perfectly level while you lean naturally into corners, so your kids or your shopping aren't getting thrown around. Power comes from a Bosch cargo line motor pushing 85 Newton-meters of torque, backed by a 750 watt-hour battery, and if that's not enough range, there's a slot for a second battery pack. The rear box hauls up to 60 kilograms. The family edition comes with built-in child seats and a 3-layer weather cover, and a differential on the rear axle keeps handling sharp and safe. Starting at around €4,999, it's an investment, but for what it replaces, that's a pretty compelling argument. What if your e-trike had no chain, no belt, and a separate hub motor on every single wheel? That's exactly what Arcimoto's Mean Lean machine brings to the table, and it's unlike anything else on this list. Instead of a mechanical link between the pedals and the wheels, the MLM uses a drive-by-wire system where pedaling spins a generator, and software controls each hub motor's output based on your cadence. It's basically a computer on wheels. 3 independent motors also enable torque vectoring, which means tighter cornering, better traction, and more confident braking than a standard trike. The Cybertrike edition adds upgraded suspension and carbon fiber wheels to keep weight down, and with an auxiliary battery, Arcimoto is targeting a jaw-dropping 200-mile range. It tilts like a bike, hauls cargo, and could genuinely double as a stationary trainer. Pricing hasn't been confirmed yet, and the road to production has been bumpy, but the concept alone makes it worth watching closely. Imagine commuting in something that looks like it escaped from a sci-fi film, reclined, partially sheltered, and completely unbothered by rain. That's the VeMoo, a French-designed semi-enclosed recumbent e-tricycle that sits somewhere between a velomobile and a regular trike. The front 2 wheels tilt into corners for stability, while the 250-watt motor and 460-watt-hour battery push you up to 62 miles on a single charge. The body panels are made from Dibond, an aluminum polyethylene composite, offering weather protection and aerodynamics without fully trapping you inside. Up front, there's a detachable 55-liter cargo trunk that rolls on its own wheels, plus a lockable 7-liter glove box with USB charging built in. A pop-up windshield handles the rain, and mirrors and turn signals come standard. It's priced at around €12,000, with €2,000 deposits now being accepted. Steep, but this is one of a kind. The Hasebike's Kettwiesel has been around since 1995, and the One Plus is proof that 30 years of refinement really shows. The headline upgrade is a Bosch Performance Line CX motor, delivering 100 Nm of torque, 750 watts of peak power, and up to 400% pedal assist, which means even steep climbs become almost embarrassingly easy. The telescoping aluminum frame adjusts to fit riders from 110 cm to 200 cm tall. The McPherson suspension soaks up rough roads, and the Enviolo automatic hub shifts automatically based on your cadence, so you never have to think about gears. At just 35 kilograms and with a compact fold-down size, it fits in most hatchbacks, handy for mixing cycling with transit. An optional cargo rack adds 30 kilograms of carrying capacity, and it can even park upright to save space. The One Plus starts at around $11,050 US, but for a trike built this thoughtfully, it's hard to argue with the value. Now, I don't know about taking this as your daily commute, but if you want something fun to ride with your family and kids, and also get a full-body workout while you're at it, look no further than the Pumper Car Luxe, a Portland-built e-trike that's unlike anything else on this list. Instead of just pedaling, riders use a patented pump-action system that engages both arms and legs simultaneously. Think rowing machine meets tricycle. The carbon fiber and aluminum tadpole frame keeps it light yet sturdy, with a low center of gravity for solid stability, and the power assist motor pushes it up to 25 miles per hour with around 25 miles of range per charge. It folds down for car trunk storage, supports riders up to 500 pounds, and comes with LED lights, handbrakes, and a performance computer. Pricing is still TBA, with a launch currently slated for late 2027, so it's one to watch rather than buy right now, but the concept alone makes it worth the wait. The original Addmotor Spytan had a real problem. Push it through a corner too fast, and the outer front wheel would lift off the ground, which is exactly the opposite of what you want from a stability-focused trike. The Spytan X fixes that with a proper redesign. A 16 connecting rod tilting mechanism lets both front wheels lean into corners independently, while front suspension absorbs uneven terrain. Together they transform how the trike handles. A 750-watt rear hub motor peaking at 1,400 watts delivers up to 90 Nm of torque, and the UL-certified 48-volt 20-ampere-hour Samsung battery claims up to 90 miles of range. Hydraulic disc brakes on all three wheels, a foldable frame that fits most SUVs, butterfly handlebars, a front rack rated for 80 pounds, and even a golf bag mount round out a very capable package. It's currently priced at $2,599, a meaningful step up from entry-level trikes, but the engineering here truly earns it. Back pain, knee strain, sore wrists. If any of those have made riding less enjoyable, the Trike Bike Chill was basically designed with you in mind. Built from the ground up by Trike Bike Australia, a company focused specifically on adult tricycles since 2007, the Chill puts the rider in a semi-recumbent position with a wide, chair-like seat and supportive backrest. Weight distributed, pressure gone. A 500-watt Ananda mid-motor delivers a surprisingly punchy 130 Nm of torque, handles 25% gradients on thumb throttle alone, and a 672 watt-hour battery stretches to over 93 miles at low assist. Dual rear independent suspension, hydraulic disc brakes on all three wheels, a rear differential for tight cornering, and built-in turn signals round things out nicely. It comes backed by a 5-year frame warranty and 2 years on components. Pre-order pricing sits at $4,995 Australian dollars, with retail rising to $5,995, which I'd say is reasonable for what you're getting. The Afrida S8 is one of those trikes that actually makes you wonder why more e-trikes aren't designed this way. Built as a major upgrade to the S6, which raised over $230,000 in crowdfunding, the S8 features a reverse tadpole layout with 2 wheels up front, a 500-watt motor rated to 950-watt peak, and a 19.2 ampere-hour Samsung battery good for up to 50 miles of range. What's genuinely clever is the tri-lock system. Flick it one way, and you're in flexi mode for dynamic, agile cornering. Flick it the other, and the trike locks stable enough to stand hands-free, no kickstand needed. It folds in 1 second, supports up to 330 pounds, and the removable battery doubles as an outdoor power bank. There's also app control, a 4-inch color LCD, and flame-retardant silica gel lining the battery box for peace of mind. It's currently available for around $2,299, which is solid value for everything packed in here. And that's it for today, folks. Some of the most impressive e-tricycles on the market right now. Feel free to drop your picks and suggestions down in the comments. Subscribe, and while you're at it, drop a like. Want more e-tricycles? Check out this video right here.